Welcome back to Ghetto Vlogs. It is currently like 6 a.m. on Christmas Eve. So by the time you see this video, it's probably going to be closer to New Year's. I'm at work at the moment, not meant to be here, not currently working, but I thought I'd come by before I head off home for the weekend, for the Christmas break. I've got my dog Marshall here, not meant to have dogs out here, but he needed a walk and I wanted to come out. So as you can see in the background, the ground is looking pretty rough, but don't stress because I want to explain what's happened. So all these sort of darker brown spots, I sprayed out Monument a few weeks ago, maybe like almost 2 weeks ago now, and Monument kills ryegrass and Poa annua, which is like a winter grass, somewhat of a weed. So what you're seeing is all the ryegrass that is dying out. After I did that, I got grass up to come out here and give the ground a groom, which is a very light scarifier to pull out any dead material. So that stressed out the plant as well. And since then, I've just let it go. Sprayed a little bit of fertilizer out here as well. So the cooch is actually super green. If you can see down here, cooch is thriving, but the ryegrass is dying out, which is not actually an issue. It's what we want. So over the summer period, when the weather heats up, because at the moment it hasn't been too great in Melbourne, we're about to get hit by a bit of rain, but the idea is that all the cooch will overtake all of these areas of the rye that is dying out. This cooch will run through because cooch is a runner, and it'll fill in all these areas, and by the time term 1 starts, we'll just have a pure cooch surface, which is perfect for a cricket field. Wicket table's looking good. That pitch obviously was used for the first few games, and that end one over there for 1 or 2 other ones. But overall, it is recovering, it is bouncing back. All this area will be filled in as soon as we get some warm temperatures. Down that end, where football training happened a lot, there was basically no ryegrass left in it by the end of the season, and that area has filled in completely with cooch. So the idea is have the whole ground filled in like that, and it will happen. I just thought I'd want to come in, have a quick look, because I was at home stressing about it because I drove past yesterday. I freaked out a little bit as I drove past because the sun was on it, and I was thinking, oh no, what's happened here? It's turned to shit.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
But I just had to come in just to give myself a bit of peace of mind and some clarity before I go away for the few Christmas days with family. Anyway, next time you see me here, I'll probably be giving the ground a cut. I don't want to come in too many times over the break. I've got off till the 10th. I'd love to just stay at home, but the way my mind works, I can't really do that. So I'll probably come in here, give the ground a cut, and then ideally we have some warm temperatures. This part of the ground here, this wing, I don't know why, but this wing is the worst at the moment. Seem to have still hung on to most of the ryegrass through here. There was a lot of clumpy rye here that when we were cutting low with the cylinder mower, it just wasn't really cutting it down enough to stress it out and let the cooch overrun it. So it was kind of clumping up in big clumps. So good to see all this is going, and this cooch through here is still there, and we'll fill in the areas over the next couple of weeks. So like I was saying before, this area here is where football training happened a lot, and as you can see, it is basically just pure cooch this whole way through. That perfect. Little bit of Poa. So these little areas here were where there was some Poa grass, so that's all dying out, but the rest of it is basically just all cooch. Yo, all right, we are off to the cricket. Australia versus Pakistan at the MCG Boxing Day test. Quick fit check. Don't know why I did that. Anyway, let's get into it.
Yeah, that's one fine looking
Sports field.
Why doesn't mine look like that? Chicken burger.
7 out of 10, banging. Hey, yes, you, the one watching this video. If you've already got this far, you might as well hit the subscribe button. It's literally just here and it's free. If you can look here, 75% of my viewers are not subscribed. That's crazy. 75%. It's easy too. All you gotta do is hit that button. It's free, it's easy. I don't know why you wouldn't subscribe. Let's get back to the video. Shoo! We back, baby. All right, it is the 28th of December, Thursday. It's about 6:30 a.m. I'm back out here. Obviously, you saw that I was at the cricket. The ground's looking a bit better than it did the other day. Not sure if you can really tell. There's obviously still these areas that we haven't had the warm weather that I had planned for this time of year. But we will get there, I'm sure. So right now, just going to give the ground a cut. Going to cut the wicket table as well. I've got my GoPro. Going to set it up in that building up there and do a little time lapse of cutting the ground as well. So you're probably seeing that right now as I'm talking over this video. But overall, the ground is recovering. The ryegrass has definitely all died out and the cooch is starting to slowly take over. It's only a brisk, like 20 degrees today in Melbourne. And I think the next warm day isn't until New Year's Day, which is like 26 or 27 degrees at this stage it's planned for. So looking forward to that. Going to cut the ground, cut the wicket table as well. And then I'm going to head home and edit up this video for you guys to watch. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Well, it's been raining since I started mowing. I'm only about a quarter of the way through, but not ideal. It's only like that real misty rain that's the worst rain that you could possibly work in. I definitely wasn't anticipating it raining today, but I suppose it is what it is. Hopefully it clears up and the time lapse looks all right, because at the moment I'm assuming that it's probably looking pretty bad. You wouldn't really be able to see a whole lot. One thing I have noticed between, well, it's been over a week since the last mow on this ground, and it's cutting off maybe like 2 mil of grass, which is pretty standard for cooch, I suppose. Ryegrass grows a lot more vertically, where cooch grass grows a lot more laterally. So it makes sense that now that there's no rye in the grass, like no rye in the outfield, that it's not going to need to be cut as much, which is good. So I think I might just give it its cut today, cut the wicket table, and then I probably won't have to cut the outfield again until I come back to work properly on the 10th of January. So that's another 12 days away, but that'd be the best break I've ever had from coming in. I might come in and just cut the wicket table and check on things, but I don't think I'm going to have to cut the oval again, which is fantastic. So, all right, the rain has just stopped. Let's get back into it. All right, I'll finish cutting the ground. It's absolutely, like, it's not pissing down, but it's pretty heavy rain at the moment, like heavy misty rain. And it's been going for about 10 to 15 minutes now. I was going to give the wicket table a mow, but it's going to be too wet now. So unfortunately, not going to be able to get a cut on that until maybe tomorrow or the day after. I'm going to have to come back. That won't be in the video. And I love Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks, and I saw your mom, she forgot that I exist. Easily one of my favourite songs at the moment, Noah Khan, Stick Season. I'll chuck that in the Be Ghetto Bangers playlist. Can't put the song on here because copyright reasons, so hopefully my singing was decent enough. I know it wasn't, but it'll do. So I've finished cutting the ground now. Unfortunately, we had about 15 minutes of pretty heavy, consistent rain, so the wicket table, which I was going to give a mow, has gotten a little bit wet now, so the clay is too wet to mow. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to come back and do that another day when it's dry. Maybe tomorrow, but I won't be putting that in this video. It's striped up okay, but with cooch it doesn't stripe up as well as ryegrass, so when the rye is in it, obviously it stripes up a lot better. I just wanted to point out a couple of areas. So like this whole pocket here is fantastic. The cooch cover there is unreal. There was barely any rye left in there. I'm not sure why, because there wasn't a whole lot of traffic through there during football season, so it's kind of weird that the ryegrass there just wasn't even a factor. But there are a lot of good pockets of cooch throughout the entire ground. Areas like this will fill in. You see this cooch here, that's obviously gonna spread through here. We've got plenty of cooch. Now when I cut the ground, I only took off maybe like 1 or 2 mil of grass, which is fine. Regular mowing with a cylinder mower still encourages that growth anyway, so cutting cooch regularly will encourage that lateral growth, which is what we need for this as well. Like this area right here, you can see these pieces of couch through the center of this ryegrass patch. This will all fill in with a bit of heat and regular mowing. This is a couch runner. See how the root zone sort of runs across the top of the field, and they shoot off their own little stems and root zones. So that'll run across and spread across that whole thing. Probably wasn't a great example just there, but you get the picture. Couch spreads, rye does not. Rye kind of bunches up and grows vertically, whereas couch and kikuyu, buffalo, runs across the top, joins together, knits together, and spreads really consistently like that. So overall, pretty happy with how it's coming up. I think the couch will fire up, obviously once we get some more hot weather. I think by the time we come back to term 1 at the start of February, it'll be fully covered, ideally, unless we have an ice age and go into a cold streak. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we will get some warm temperatures very shortly. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Bread.